So in this video, we're going to talk about questions 2, 3, and 4, although I think you might find that they're a little bit easier than question number 1 in that you don't have to clean up the equations. They're all basically already simplified for you. The challenge in these is going to be this extra little clue, which we're going to talk about. So the example I'm going to do is question number 3, just because both of the examples I did in the previous video were cos. And question number 3 has sine, so it might be nice to have a little bit of variety. Of course, it's the same logic. Sine is just vertical, where cos is horizontal. So you can definitely apply what we're going to talk about in this video to questions 2 and 4 as well. So in question number 3, it specifies that sine is already going to be 1/2. So that's telling me that it's a vertical measurement, and it's the shortest vertical measurement in each quadrant. Now, the second clue is the interesting part. The first thing I'm noticing about this thing is that it's got a pi over 2. Pi over 2 is clearly a radian measure, so this is giving me a hint that the answer that I'm looking for must be in radians. And that's a really big clue about what we're going to write in the answer space. In question number 1, it told you underneath the answer blank what units to use. And in these questions, 2, 3, and 4, they're letting you pick up on that little context clue on your own. So by picking up on the clue here that it has a pi in the clue, that's telling me my answer needs to be in terms of pi or radians as well. So if you want to make a note to yourself maybe underneath the answer blank, you can make a note that this answer is definitely going to need to be in radians. Now, going back then, the important thing about this clue isn't just the fact that it wants us to state our answer in radians, it's also telling us a specific beginning and end to the possible range of answers we could have. This little symbol, theta, is the number we're looking for. And the way it's arranged in this little statement here implies that theta is between 0 and pi over 2. You see how it's literally written in between those two numbers? This mathematical notation is actually meant to say in between. So this is kind of a fancy way of saying you're looking for an answer between 0 and pi over 2. If you refer to a circle for a second, then think about where that possibly could lead you. If I'm between 0, which is here, and pi over 2, which is here, then I must have to be in the first quadrant. That's definitely giving me a very limited possibility for where I should look for answers. So it does say that sine is 1/2. Sine is vertical. So I'm thinking about the vertical short measurement. And the only possibility in this first quadrant looks like it's over here at pi over 6. I could theoretically also have an answer over here at 5 pi over 6. But remember, it's specified in the clue that we're only between 0 and pi over 2, beginning and end of our possible range of answers. So I'm only going to focus on the possibility in the first quadrant. Unlike the first question that we did together, this means that there's only one answer to this question. The only possible radian measure where the height is 1/2 is only pi over 6. So in that case, I'm only going to write that single answer. All of the questions in 2, 3, and 4 are going to be like that. They're going to ask you to go to a specific section of the circle, usually a specific quadrant, and they're going to ask you to look for answers only in that quadrant. So in number 2, between 270 and 360, for example. Also, don't forget, it's giving you a context clue in each answer by using a specific type of units. 270 and 360 are degree measures, which tips you off that question number 2's answer is going to be a degree number. Now, see if you can try 2 and 4, because they're kind of similar to what we just did here together. And if you feel like you got it, then you can definitely try question number 5. I'll do a separate video to talk specifically about question number 5, but again, it's all the same logic. So if you feel like you can get it, you are more than welcome to skip the video and just go ahead